Hi guys, this is Nishant Kotai and you are watching Game Over Everything. Today we are going to try something different. What I'm going to do is we are going to walk, through some areas of Mafia 3, and I wanted to show something cool about this game which I like. So I'll be calling this series as Walk in the World series. तो मैं हिंदी में भी ट्राई करूँगा बात करने एंड इंग्लिश भी ट्राई करूँगा. I'll mix both the languages. So my main reason for doing these kind of videos is to just sit back, enjoy with you guys, and see how the game actually functions, and some cool things about the game as we walk around the areas of the game. So as you can see, the streets are pretty much filled out, like it feels like a lived in area. As you saw, there was a lot of trash in it. So this is one thing which is very cool about the game now. Both these couples have been stopped by the policemen there because this is a French ward district, which is a high society district, and that's why the police, openly distinguish between the lower class people and the upper class. So that is a cool addition to this game, which I personally liked. And as you can hear, there will be some music coming in from the background, which is some jazz going on in some clubs which is far away. And people on the way also wish Lincoln when he walks on by, because this district is owned by him now. So as you can see, look at the shadows falling from the upper floor, and how it feels layered. And this is a particularly cool area where you can see the cracks on the walls actually, and it gives that feeling of some time has passed in the game, in the world actually. And that is some of the cooler things which I found in many of the buildings, that they have these washed up feel to them. Like as you can see, there is yellow paint on the front wall of it, but on the right side it's completely bricked, and even the color is fading off on most of the parts of those walls. There are puddles on the street, beside the pipes, and there are some shrubs growing from the walls as well. So there's a lot happening in this game when you look closely. Just hold back and look closely around the different areas of this game. And these women will be talking something, whenever you get around with this. Now there are also many NPCs which are walking on the streets, which are of different shapes and sizes, which is also a cooler aspect of this game. And as you can see, the separation of the light separation, the sun rays falling on the building which is behind me, it is properly separated and looks quite popped out. And even here you can see, you feel like you're walking in a shaded area from the the brighter part which is here, and that is something which is pretty cool when you look at it. And I'll just take this up because I am kind of OCD, and this is a building which is abandoned, so you can see those fallen apart structures in it as well. And this is something which is pretty cool that I found. Long live the king. Now this game is set during the time of after the assassination of Martin Luther King, so this is a little sign of the times which they leave in the game. So this is pretty cool, which I found that the developers chose to do that, which gives the location a kind of a living feeling, and it makes you feel like a part of the world, and it just adds to it. I will come back to this area again when it is night. Here we are, and as you can see, I was here a while ago. I think there will be an edit in the previous video, and I'll just show you around. There's a night time in the same area. This is the same area, and as you can see, the lightings from different sources are popping out pretty well. And the HDR may not be visible because it captures differently on the game. And as you can see, the fountain here is pretty cool, and around the fountains you can see there are some puddles as well, which are a result of the fountain obviously. तो ये काफ़ी अच्छा एरिया है जहाँ से आप देख सकते हैं कि एक अच्छा एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट किया डेवलपर्स ने for the game to be played. So this is something pretty cool. And And personally, I do find that the game is better at night time when there is night in the game. And this is the best area I find in terms of lighting. As you can see, there are various signboards, neon signs, which are casting their own light apart from the street lights as well. And the walls also have these half torn posters, which give a feeling that they have been used over the time. And we'll just walk around this area pretty good. This is a busted up area. This area has not been used, so you will see some window panes broken. So many cool things are going on in the game actually when you just walk slowly and take in. And as you can see, the wind is blowing to the side. The trees don't actually move. That is one thing which I found in the game. And this is one of the other cool areas which I found. The light, the bulb. This bulb is not working properly, and it does not work properly at any day, at any night. So this is something which is very cool I found. And as you can see, the bulb itself is casting a shadow, and pretty cool. So you can see the difference in the lighting in every block, in every like meter I'm moving. Here you can see the purple shade coming from the neon light, and these two bulbs are also casting out their different lights. Now I do not understand the trick that goes in those illumination things, but it is pretty cool to just walk and just think in the sights that the city has to offer. Now this is the same area which I came from in the previous part of the video when there was day. And as you can see, there is a stark difference when you come at night and when you are in this area in the daytime. And as I said, the houses also have this variations in them. It's not same house repeatedly appearing in the game in front of you, so that is also a good aspect of this game. Makes it feel varied and different. And this church, the lighting on this church is also very good feeling. And as you can see, there are different light sources on it as well. There are several bulbs on the pillars of it, and then there are some bulbs which are on the inner side of that pillar, which are illuminating it on the wall. Now I don't think I can't enter. And this is the graveyard which is attached to it. Pretty cool area in my opinion when you look at the lived in feeling. As you can see, I just walked only a few meters away from the French Ward district, and already you can feel a difference even within that short amount of time. And it gives that feeling of that yes, you are in a new part of the city, or you are in a newer part of the district itself. So that is pretty amazing when you look at it. Another cool thing is, I think, when you look through this, the telephone booth, the glass is pretty translucent. So it gives you that feeling, the difference of view. So, I mean, there was no need to put this in, but the developers found it cool to put it in. So that is pretty amazing for their part. So, many things are going on in the game, and we just don't have the time to actually sink them in. So I thought, why not we just take this initiative and I'll share this experience with you guys. So as you can see, the scenery is also changing, the background is changing. Now I've walked pretty far away from where we were in the French Ward, and now this is a garden area where we are going. So you can already feel the difference of background, and just makes you feel like you're moving in the world. You're moving away from a different area and you are entering an area which is populated, which is more populated or less populated, or vice versa. And then you can see some expensive mansions in the distance. So you get this feeling that maybe some richer people must be living here. That is why there is a set of these houses which are tightly constructed to each other. Now I'm sure we cannot enter one of these, but it is pretty cool to have a detailed set of houses. As you can see, you can actually feel the texture of this as well. When you look at it, you might have a feeling that this is some kind of mixture of wooden and cement. When you look at the walls of this house, pretty cool. The door is actually the one which takes out the immersion when you see. Pretty cool stuff actually. So this is something which I observed about this game, which it does particularly well, is that it makes you feel that you are in a different area. And this is also different. Now as you saw that indicator, police is on high alert in this area, considering we are a colored guy. So racism was pretty strong during that time, and it is not something that I advocate personally. It is a stigma on our existence that we make such kind of differences when it comes to race. So this is something pretty cool that they could, as you can see, this is where we started the. This is where my car was, and that is where I decided to drop out and basically walk a few meters. And as you can see, even in that little square area, we have seen so many differences. So another thing that I really liked about this game are the reflections of the various neon signs. And this area in particular, this is just a supermarket, nothing fancy, but I still liked how the light is falling on the puddles down there, and it is a pretty a serviceable kind of a ray tracing, I would say, which is going on here. Now I won't term it as ray tracing, but it is a mild form of ray tracing which gives in that realistic look to it. Now even if I stand here, you can actually see the blue in it, and even the red signboard of Bel Air's in it. So that is pretty cool, and I like this square area. As you can see, there are many boards in this area, many supermarkets which cast a shadow. Even the street lights themselves, I'll show you in a second. When you look at the puddles, they also are reflecting various light sources fairly correctly. And as you can see, if you observe closely, there are a very foggy thing which is going around the street lamp up there. So and then there is this separation between that red light over there and the street light above us. So that is something which I found really pleasing to the eye when you just pass through it. I don't usually do this, but I just thought, why not just sit back and observe what is actually happening in the world in which we are playing the game. So this is the Sammy's bar. It comes with the DLC, which is now free if you own the game. And there's a lot of screen tearing in this game, I observe, which is very, very disturbing to me, and it just takes me out of the immersion. And here too, there is a good light play going on as they are playing the band, and green and red light is focusing on them, and at the same time there is the club light, which is a sort of a moon white kind of a shade. And then when you come to this area, the wallpaper is red, and the light reflection makes it appear like a bit of a reddish tint to the entire area. And it is pretty cool actually. It actually feels like you are in a club. And these lights too, the lighting in this game is a hit and miss, I'll say that, because personally I found that the night time is done much better than the daytime in terms of execution. And as you can see, many people are playing games, poker and snooker in this. I have actually upgraded the club, so let's see if this guy is able to hit something. So even above the snooker pool board, you can see that the light is not directly or blindly casting it on. It actually is taking the shape of its source, which is a rectangular shape, and then there is also those fine dust particles in it, which are making it feel realistic. They're doing their best job to make it feel realistic. This guy is not going to hit the ball, I'm sure. I stopped by before and he was in the same pose and he wasn't able to hit the ball. So मुझे नहीं लगता ये ball hit कर पाएगा, but no, I don't think this guy is going to wait forever for his turn, I think. Now this here is pretty cool. This guy plays dart all day long. Now there have been variations in this NPC as well. There was a woman who was playing darts the previous time I stepped into this room, and now this guy is playing. So pretty cool actually when you look at his actions there. I think he will play that again. I'll just point something out which I liked about this. Let's hope he does that again. Yeah, he's doing it. So look at his hand motion, the right hand of his man, how before throwing the dart he's actually aiming it for a few seconds and then doing that motion of throwing the darts, which I found pretty cool and believable, which just adds to the feeling of realism in the game. Now this is just something you won't look at, but when you do look at it, it just gives you a proper feeling that there is an actual living world going on around you. And this is this little area also which I like. This is an open sort of a dining area, and I found this pretty cool. And as I said, I don't like the game in during the day, because there's a oversaturation of colors, and the brightness is too over the top. And I have adjusted the brightness for a lot of time, but it doesn't work. Trust me, this is too oversaturated during the daytime, and I will show that lighting aspect as well, because I really don't like. Now this is pretty cool in this area, but when you go in some areas, they feel like they have been over illuminated. So I'll have a drink, and then we'll move on to another area. So this area is actually what I wanted to show. Not this area, but I wanted to show the lighting when it is afternoon time in this game. The light doesn't work properly. Like you can see, the light is coming from the roof around here, but it feels like light is coming even from the ground, and the entire room gets illuminated. As you can see, there are white lines around Lincoln himself, and it just doesn't feel right. It just takes the emotion out of this. Personally, I feel that during the daytime this game is not ideal at all in terms of lighting. That I can surely say. You see that? So this is one more thing I wanted to show. You see, he doesn't directly die. He has that animation of painfully crawling. So another thing I wanted to show is the car damage. Now if you hear very acutely, you can hear the sound of the heat, the steam coming out from the parts. Did you hear that? So that was pretty cool, which I found, but the car damage itself is not that impressive, to be honest, because you just hit 1 or 2 or 3 bullets and the car just bursts up into flames. I'll show you in a minute. 2. See, that damage didn't even show on the car, and suddenly explodes. See, so that is something which I think should have been taken into consideration, but still it's not that bad. Now this is the weed area. This is where you grow and cultivate and sell weed and run your operation. So this is something which was added in the DLC, and I found this area pretty good in terms of lighting. So that's why I just wanted to show you this little area. As you can see, feels pretty crowded in this small warehouse, and as I said, you can harvest all these kind of crops. There are various kinds of plants which you can grow. Then you can sell it to these different districts that you have conquered in the game, and it also shows who is the underboss of that district. So that is pretty cool, which I found, but it was added way later in the game and during the DLC, which I didn't buy. But since I had the game, they had all the DLCs free since June 2020. So that was pretty cool. So this is something which I wanted to show in this game, and if you love these kind of videos, you can comment your thoughts. If you want some game which you like, you want me to walk through it and show some of these things which we normally don't see. Even I don't see, because I don't play the game so patiently. It is just that when I've completed a game and when I feel like that game had something special, I kind of just walk around in the game, sipping on coffee and looking around what happens in the game. So this will be a bigger video than my usual ones, and as you can see, he's watering the crops, so that is pretty cool. So yeah guys, that is it about this video. If you like this kind of content, just me walking around and showing you the game map, you can let me know in the comments. Until then guys, do take care of yourselves, and also subscribe to my channel and leave a like if you genuinely like the video. Bye guys, take care.